just that he forced his way into the lineup. A lot of it, obviously, it kind of happened for him at the right time because Aubameyang got rubbed out. But there was a time where Lacazette weren't playing well. Then Lacazette was affecting the game. Then for me, I think it was the Crystal Palace game what really said, all right, cool, we need to bring them both in. Because if you remember, Lacazette was holding bench early in the season. It was all Aubameyang. Then it was, let's try and get Aubameyang and Lacazette in the team because we wanted to make Aubameyang pattern. It never happened. Then Lacazette, it became the thing. And obviously, in time with what happened off the field, you all saw in it, really. So it's a wild one for Pepe. He's got a lot to think about, I will say. Pepe has a lot to think about because if AFCON didn't happen, I think he forces a move in January. For us, it's good to have as an option. It's nice to see everyone buying in, but you've made 107 appearances for this football club, signed for 70 million, getting to that age now, 25, 26. And you've still not really learned a lot about you. You're still flushed. You got more. Everyone can see you're a brilliant player, Pepe can ball in it, like he can ball. The consistency, the hot and cold patches, these sort of things is all the baggage. And I'll be honest, I would like to see him play more. I do think he could have played more, but we've been getting results. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care if you're getting results. I'm loyal to Arsenal, not the players, isn't it? When we're not getting results, and like I saw last season or whenever it was when Williams playing, then I have that conversation about could Pepe use these minutes? Could this guy used them minutes? A bit like when we're seeing people play rubbish in centre half and we're saying, all right, cool. Could somebody else do it then? But when you're getting results, the first things first is results. So at periods this season where people have said, Martinelli's been unfortunate, Ainsley's been unfortunate, Tavares has been unfortunate, this guy, that guy, we need to remember most importantly is the result. 38 games, 3 points. The strongest team goes out there, I understand Pepe. As I said, all them things there and you're still not playing. You're not really getting a look in. You weren't playing. You went off the AFCON. I think he's remembered how good of a player he is and he's got that. He's just started playing again, really. There's a lot to consider. So it is where it is, man. Let's see exactly. You know what? Let's crack on with this as well, man. Keep your opinions coming, people. Let's balance the talking with actually the reporting thing. But allegedly, again, I haven't read this. Headline could be very different from what is actually said. Nicolas Pepe weighing up Arsenal transfer exit after Mikel Arteta talks. Nicolas Pepe has. Sorry, people, my keys are in the way. Let's move them. Nicolas Pepe has confessed he will weigh up his options at the end of the season after holding talks with Mikel Arteta over his frustrating predicament. Of course you should. Beyond the obvious of what I said, you're contracted until 2024. If we've had the conversation, ultimately made the decisions to sign Martinelli, Saka, Saliba to new deals, allegedly, all contracted until 2024. What the database when you're on Excel and you're pressing certain things, so certain things come up. What Pepe's name 2024 is not going to come up. So it is what it is. I think I don't think Pepe was set up to fail per se, but he's been set up to fail. He's joined at a turbulent time. I don't think he's ever been that player. Like he signed for us off the back of real strong 18 months where the footballing IQ really developed. If you listen to Pepe's parents or even dad, he kind of spoke about it really. I'll try to find his dad's comments, but I like Pepe, but this is ultimately what he is, man. And whatnot. On Monday, he said, I'm focused on how well we do until the end of the season and the club's target, which is getting into the Champions League. Then we'll see what happens. When a team is winning, it is hard for a coach to make changes. Facts. And that's one thing I like about Pepe. It's not about your ego. Not saying Pepe or anyone else. Everyone should want to play. Everyone wants to play. But the team's doing well. That's why, Leno, you're not playing. That's, we're stronger without you. There's a reality to that. But when you come in, take a chance. If we're not doing well and you're not playing, then for me, which has been at times at Arsenal, then we look at, or I would look at if I'm Pepe. If we're winning, you can't break something. Let's be honest. Pepe, for what we expect, Saka shouldn't talk to you, innit? It should be you and Saka, or you should be what Saka is to this team. It's Saka. Simple as that. You can fight him, but that's Saka. The left wing, Martinelli, Smith-Rowe. I'm not saying Pepe isn't a better option or not. If it came to it, it's between Martinelli. If you put a gun to my head, I'd probably lean towards Smith-Rowe today to play on that left-hand side. Up front, it probably is Lacazette at this moment in time. Odegaard's in the 10. But there's been times where people's form has been shaky and people have had to drop it. If Martinelli, Smith-Rowe, etc. aren't doing their jobs, then they know what happens. Smith-Rowe, again, unfortunate to lose his position at the time. Odegaard had a bit of a wobble at the start of this season. So I understand why, but, I love to see that this ain't a player sulking. This ain't people not just thinking inwards, in it. It's about the collective. He's able to be upset for himself, but think about the collective, and that's Arsenal being in the Champions League and what everybody, because just because you're not playing don't mean you're part of it. You're training every day with everyone. You're riding with each other. The things that I said positively and negatively, I said about all of you. Of course, man are gonna focus a bit more on Saka than, I don't know, Reece Nelson, who's not a point, but you're all part of this together. So it's all a reflection on yourself. Mikel Arteta has explained that to me, and the coach knows what I think and how hard I'm working. It's about communication. Sometimes it's not easy to communicate with the language barrier. Now, if I look back to when we spoke earlier this week about Arteta in his press conference, he kind of spoke about, long story short, the quicker you can learn English for me, the better. Now, how good is Pepe's? That might be a reason as to why you're not playing. That's why probably you see Gabriel and Ben White gelling a bit more. You hear Martinelli learning English and things. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But maybe it's little things. Sometimes it's little things like this that get you in the team. It's little things. So yeah, if it's not, and again, football's universal. There's Frenchmen, there's Spaniards, there's whatever, and that can communicate on his behalf. But if Arteta can't tell, if you can't reciprocate what Arteta wants directly, then that might be something. Because again, above all, football's about communication. Modric, Xavi, all of these guys' passes are irrelevant. All the mad passes they've done, it's all irrelevant if somebody doesn't run on, clock what's going on. So there's communication. So it is what it is. Of course, it's frustrating. Sorry, he said it's been a tough season for me. It has. Of course, it's frustrating not to play. No player enjoys not playing, but I have to respect the coach's decision, and the team is doing well at the moment. I have improved since coming to London, and English football is totally different from French football, particularly the intensity in matches. And I had to adapt physically and make that transition, which I have done. And again, his coach allegedly said, when I watch Nico on the bench, it is painful for him as he loves to play, and it's painful for me because I need my players on the pitch for club games. I would like him to play more. I'm sure he can bring a lot of solutions. When you see what he brings to Ivory Coast, I would like to see him bring so much fun and joy and happiness and goals with the red jersey. And even if I'm honest, if I look at the game before the international break, forgive me if I'm wrong, against Leicester, he came on the pitch. Let's be honest, there's been times since we've remembered that Pepe is an Arsenal footballer in the last few weeks. The game before last, he was quite good off the bench. That game, he stunk up the place. Let's be real, he stunk up the place away at Leicester. And sometimes damn things there as to why a manager won't lean upon you, It could be a thing where I'm not, just use Saka as an example, not that he does this, but if you're a manager, you might lean towards a player that's going to give you a 5 out of 10 out of, if you've got a 10-game period and he's going to give you 5 out of 10. It's nothing amazing, nothing too terrible. You might say, all right, cool. I'll deal with that. But I'm not saying it with Pepe, but Pepe might give you 10 out of 10 one week, 2 the next week, 5 the next week. It can't deal with that really and truly, especially as we're now developing and trying to add consistency and the rest of it into our game, people. So there's that to consider really and truly. I do think Arteta believes in his abilities. I do think he uses him, but for one reason or another, there's something he's not convinced about. And, normally this part of the season is, in the last 2 years, Pepe's been the savior for us. And I actually feel, again, if people were to ask me 2 players I feel Arteta's improved, I could say the obvious, but I've said this before. I genuinely think he's improved Granit Xhaka and Pepe. I actually think he's improved Pepe. Now, as I just said, I'm going to contradict myself. Definitely not off Pepe's last game or outing or appearance. But generally, I think Pepe's defensively, overall contributions over a course of 90 minutes, not that he knows what that is at this moment in time, is a lot better than the flash in the pan sort of stuff. Not that he has moved away all the way from that, but there's still elements of that, but you get the point. So it is what it is. Pepe lacks physicality, balance, and passing ability to play striker. DG, what if this season comes down to the wire and Arteta finally unleashes Martinelli as a 9? But I would love that. I don't care who plays, how we play. Just do the thing in it, really and truly. Just make sure you're doing the business for us. Really, if somebody says we can win every game, but Pep, there's no clean sheets, and Gabriel scores every game, I don't mind that. I don't give a flying monkeys. If we look at Pepe, obviously on the scheme of it, he's played 29 times this season. Yeah, he's played 20. He's been in the squad 29 times, playing 18 games. He's played 15 times in the league, got 1 goal, 1 assist, which for your £72 million man, for one of your top earners. That is something that's got to be revisited. I do think the club's got more pressing urgencies to move people on. I think Pepe would have to kind of force the move this summer if he wants it. I think the club would let it run for an extra year and then see what's going on. You either put yourself in the shop window or be sold on. But yeah, man, obviously, he doesn't really know what 90 minutes is at this moment in time. When last did he start a league game, really and truly? I think one report said October. How many times did he play 90 minutes? We were rubbed these times. And it was a bit unfair for everybody involved at this moment in time because we was a mess of a team. Whether we've won these games or not, we was a mess. We started to put in the building blocks. So fair enough. He's played 90 minutes 5 times before the turn of the year. He got what he's a sub there. Since we was robbed, how many times has he played? Has he played 90 minutes? There's not really too many there, is it? So that kind of tells you Arteta likes you, but he doesn't necessarily trust you. And at 26 years of age, 27 this year, something to seriously consider. You have to have arrived now, and we're still respectfully. I know Xhaka has improved, and it's a different thing, but we're still having the same sort of conversations with Pepe. We're probably a better team balanced without him, but that could have, we look back balanced with Martinelli. Certain people a few months ago might not have necessarily said that. So things can change, but with Pepe, his contract, it looks like the beginning of the end, really. I'll be surprised if he's an Arsenal player this time. Well, I want to say this time next year. I would be, but I would say come the end of next summer, really and truly. I do think maybe the club run his deal down. They might say, let's put all our resources to sorting out, Leno, Reece Nelson, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Torreira, Bellerin, etc., etc. And then we can still use Pepe because he's not a bad player. He's clearly not disrupting the group and things like that because he's still Arteta weeds that stuff out. So be interesting to see, man. But again, they have to be talking about a new contract, and if they're not, then that's already speaking, isn't it? Really and truly. So we'll have to see. What I like is he's not feeling sorry for himself. I need to find Nicholas Pepe dad. What did his dad say? His dad said some comments, man. Yes, and it's again. I don't think the Guardian's going to open it, but that's one thing. Pepe brings a lot of joy. He needs to become a bit more calculated, a bit decisive. He still plays very instinctive, very emotive. And his dad said this when he signed for us. Pepe must learn at Arsenal that football is not fun. And he said he's learned. He clearly has learned, but we haven't seen evident, consistent, sustained football maturity from Pepe. Let's be real. I know it's been turbulent. I don't think he's had an opportunity and things have been going on, but yeah, it is what it is, people, really. So yeah. His own dad said it. I just want to skip to the let's just find the bulk of this, man. I just want to see that incident, man. That's talking about the president. That's all of that. It's talking about our interest in him. It's somewhere. My son has a lot of qualities, but he still has a lot of work. He must be more consistent in his game, more serious. He must understand this is not fun. It's his job. So again, maybe I don't think there's one reason why Pepe is not playing. It's probably a bulk of things. And sometimes it might be a mixture of things. He might be doing everything well. They might not just doing it better than you. Or it might be the language. It might be consistent application. It might be consistency in everything he's doing in training and the games and whatnot. It might be a bit of everything. I guess we'll never truly know until Pepe or Arteta opens their mouth. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Before we carry on, what else are you lot saying? If you're on YouTube, you need to rise up 100 likes. You see why I prefer Twitch? Because they don't do me that dirty, man. One love to the Twitch heads as well, man. So yeah, I like Pepe, man. And I hope that there's a resolution, but obviously I care about the team first and foremost. And it looks peak, man. How are you? I'm doing well, my guy. Pepe seems to need to find a bit of confidence in Europa. Now it's all Prem games. Can Arteta trust him to do the hard yards? Saka's ruined his Arsenal career. Do you know where it is at some time? Arteta can install confidence, but you've got to install it in yourself, really. Pepe doesn't look after the boys. 2 wasteful. I'll be real, top player, but 1, 2, inconsistent. And 2, he doesn't look after the ball. Pepe got no love from any manager. Emre said he wanted Zaha, then Arteta benched him. then maybe that's it. You know, I'm sure if we go through it, I'm sure there's players that were loved over both. Xhaka could say I got love from both of them. Now, whatever we say, why is Xhaka? Why in the same way there can't be a coincidence that maybe on the two gaffers now it ain't really happened for Pepe. You know, why is Xhaka playing of all these men? I know it's two separate positions and that plays a part, but in terms of what you offer on the football field, managers are not going to not play players they don't think are going to help them. Whether they're right or incorrect in their thinking, they're going to play players that they believe in, because at the end of the day, their job's on the line. It doesn't mean that every 11 he doesn't believe in the bench players. Obviously, you get where I'm going with it. Part and parcel being at a big club, you tough, right? At least he's aware it's not the time to change the team, especially. That's what I like. When players are not involved, they can sit there and say, which we want to hear. I'm not happy, I'm not playing, but it is what it is. When I get my chance, man, I take it. I see the big homie with Unks today. What a moment. Come on. That was a moment still. Really, I should have sent the files to myself and whatnot, but it's on my Instagram page. Let me see. I bet we get shagged if we try to rise it up, but can see the little pictures. Them can see it again. Green screen not being nice. Oh, I don't know why you lot can't hear that. You get me? All them haters, you get me? We soon blow. Soon have Thierry Henry on FaceTime and them things there. Ronaldinho and all them things. DG Nation appreciative to you lot, because without you, things like that are not possible. So we keep going. Martinez will be cold. Pepe is talented, but he's not got fit into this current setup at Arsenal. To be honest, I'd like to see get game time up top over in Kea. I'm not gonna lie. I do think when I see things like, remember when he was bringing on Tavares and Eddie Nketiah left wing? I do look at Arteta like, big man, I'm Team Arteta, but yo, come man, you're violating. But on the other hand, is he sending a statement out? Is he telling some people something? If he does trust them further forward, why? I don't know. I'm just being devil's advocate with you lot, people. One love to you lot tuned in. I don't know. I'll be looking at Arteta like, hang on, mate, I saved your bacon a couple seasons. You're going to need me against Crystal Palace. That's my game. You know, I would like Pepe to stay, be part of the team and be part of the squad and force his way in and just have him as a player. But if he leaves, it's at the point where it's not that I don't care, but I don't care. Like, I understand why you're leaving. It makes proper sense, but it is what it is. To be fair, low key, I hope Tino's not here. Low key, Martinelli gives the ball away too much. Martinelli FC. Let's be honest. The lowest of keys, the smallest of volumes. I'm not gonna say that ever again anymore. You know, because it's Martinelli FC. But let's be honest. He kind of gives the ball away a lot. He's a bit scrappy with it. So I think if you're using Martinelli as an example, it's a bit harsh on Pepe. I think you lot I don't think Pepe loses the ball as much as you lot make out, but he does lose the ball quite a lot. But you're right with the others. And for me, it's about, you know what, it's probably about what you're doing when you're not necessarily standing out. Maybe Arteta sat there and said on their worst days, what Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, these guys allegedly are better than him. I think Arteta just sees Pepe as, and I would at this moment, you're my wild cannon. Some games I might look at you, I want to strangle you. Other times you might win the game for me. And there's times for you, there's not times for you, sort of thing. You know, he's probably kicking himself after the Leicester game. Why the fuck did I bring on Pepe? The game before that, maybe I give this man a bit more opportunities. And the wickedest thing is, I think Pepe's improved a hell of a lot defensively under Mikel Arteta, if I'm completely honest. I do think Pepe's improved a lot. Likewise, again, if we're honest, I don't think Saka's improved enough defensively. I think Saka gets away with a lot. I'm going to whisper it. Martinelli gives the ball away a lot. Saka defending needs to improve. There's a couple things. Ramsdale's distribution at times, as great as he is, has been a bit booky. Sometimes his positioning isn't the best. Ben White has a bit of a brain fart in him, as does Gabriel. I love my players, but we got to be honest. We got to keep it true. Both his goal and assists were against Wolves, though. Massive match that helped us keep momentum. And that kind of ties into what I'm saying. Sometimes he's going to save your bacon. Other than not, he might not. And that's probably why other men are playing, because I'm going to get my 5, 6s out of 10s. And this is it as well. I just think the word is just frustrating, man. I just think Pepe frustrates a lot more than all of them. Pepe is my favorite player, but it's impossible to argue that he should be in the starting 11. Out of every player, he suffered the most of having no Europe. He has still. I'm not for the Pepe. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really for the Pepe false 9 thing. New striker thing. Martinelli up front settings. Then we do up that, man. Come on, serious, man. DG will melt if he sees Dino. Well, I can't lie. I'll be screaming like a bad man. I can't. Even Neymar, to be fair with you, you might put this. Nah, no Martinelli slander. Like I said, whisper it, because there's pagans about. If we're on this Smith, even time Smith Rowe, but this is where they're at as kids, man. Or young men in their careers. Pepe is capable of producing brilliant moments, but he also has appearances like against Villa, where he'll be sloppy and give away cheap fouls. So yeah, not Leicester. I actually meant that's the game. Leicester, Aston Villa away, because that was before the break, man. So yeah, you're right, man. Love for saving me, Dick. So yeah, you're right, and this is why you don't play, man. Pepe's got that Nuno Tavares thing about him, like you're beaky, like there's something likable about you, but you're beaky. Like, let's be honest. Others, there's going to be a base level. If we are down, Pepe is great. If we're winning, he is not that great. Pepe would just do better with another team. The system don't suit him like it don't suit Aubameyang. I think that's a bit harsh. I don't think it's necessarily a suiting him thing, but I hear you. I just feel you're just frustrating, bro. Like, I feel it's more a you thing. Like, if anything, you just got to do whatever I think that, if you're doing everything you genuinely believe and still not starting, then fair enough, chat to your agent. But I genuinely believe it's a Pepe thing. If you get your head up a bit more, you stop running into blind alleys, you find better balance with what you're doing, then you get more opportunities. And I would want that, because I think we got some good problems now at Arsenal, man. Before we was, no, let's play David Luiz and Socrates or this and that because it's a better pivot than defensive pivot than this and that. We were just picking between bare shit, man. Like, we were just happy to play certain other players. Like, really, we was gagging. Well, certain man, well, bad man don't do them things there. Certain man, we're gagging to see certain mediocre players because William was playing. Now we've got, man, I said, like, is it Odegaard or Smith Rowe? How do we play all these? We've got good problems now. And I feel out wide we've got good problems. Is Smith Rowe's long-term future out wide? Probably not. But Smith Rowe in the short, medium, and maybe long-term, you've got Smith Rowe, Martinelli, who could go up front, Pepe, Saka. There's problems. And some of the players we've been linked with can play out there. So, good problems. And like someone says, part and parcel, man. Pardon me. Pepe says language barrier prevents him from communicating clearly. Arteta speaks French, so he would have thought they speak at least. They probably do, and that's probably a communication barrier, but I mean, a way of breaching that barrier. But at the same time, what is Arteta's level of French? Does he know it like the back of his hand? Does he know it on an Arsene Wenger thing, or is he can say 1-2 words? And at the same time, it's good for Arteta speaking French. If he's on the other side of the pitch and he needs to relay an information, he might tell a midfielder go and do this. My man says something. Pepe interprets it as a next thing. What are we saying? I hope Pepe stays nevertheless. Next year with Euro footy and rotation will help him elevate his form. And that's one thing that could help. Like, I would say to Pepe, listen, you helped us get, in your own way, you've helped us get here. There's going to be more games, more rotation and things. Hopefully Pepe can step up so we can stop relying on certain man. Fair enough. So yeah, but again, if I'm on the right-hand side of the pitch and Pepe's on the left, bro, it don't matter what language I'm speaking. If man can't hear me, if I'm saying 3 and he's 6, I'm saying 4, what on? It all depends, bro. If he speaks fluently, then again, there shouldn't be any issues. But at the same time, going back to what Omar said, like Pepe himself said, listen, the communicational barrier has been an issue, and that weren't in relation to the players. So clearly, whether they're speaking English, Spanish, French, Swahili, something's not clicking in it. Is that yeah? The Pepes, the Lokongas, the Sambis, these sort of man will get opportunities more so next season, assuming we end up in Europe in some capacity, which by God's grace